Howdy.
Hey there. How's it going, Jamil?
Amazing. How are you, Landree?
Pretty good. The week's been flying by, just
Oh my
crazy busy
goodness.
as always.
I
What about you?
Same with me. I was traveling, I had taken some time away with my family and uh it's been incredible. But I'm so glad to be back and I'm so excited to be doing this second installment of the Driving for Dollars challenge that we've had, and this has been pretty fun, right? Because people have been sending you some pretty incredible photos.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, this has been great. And I actually just wrapped up like a batch driving for dollars challenge where I teach everybody how to use the system. We just ended it yesterday and got a bunch of other people to be submitting photos. And we did pick the winner. So I'm really excited about that today.
Oh my
And
god!
it
So
was not an easy choice. So
when are we going to announce the winner for that?
I don't know. I think we should
Should we?
let's
Well, wait.
go hard.
Yeah, we're gonna not gonna announce it till the end because we want everybody to hang out with us and participate. But congratulations to whoever it is that won. You'll find out who you are here very soon. But today we are going to get right into it because this is, in my opinion, one of the most important skills that you need to learn how to do, which is virtually driving for dollars. And the reason for it is we have seen time and time again for newcomers to the whole business of wholesale. If you're going direct to seller, 70% of people get their first deal driving for dollars. Think of that.
It's
Not
nuts.
not cold calling, not direct mail, not pay per click. 70% of direct to seller wholesalers get their first deal from driving for dollars. And why would that be? Because the list that you make when you're driving for dollars is the most concentrated list that you can create because you visually inspected the signs of distress. You visually decided what house makes sense for you to try and have a conversation with. And if you think about it, it's going to say, if you're doing direct mail, a lot of times in direct mail, people just, they get a list of zip codes
Yeah.
and they mail the whole neighborhood, or they get a tired landlord list and they just mail everybody. But what if there's no opportunity there because there's no distress, there's no motivation? And so you're spending time and money on skip tracing and lists and cold callers and not getting the kind of result you would get if you were doing driving for dollars. And so, again, this is one of my favorite direct to seller techniques. You can build some pretty incredible lists, and you were building a list for me to call on in Tampa, weren't you?
Yeah, I was. And actually, and we'll get into that as well for other things that we're going to be giving out to you guys that I'm looking forward to. But I also built a custom list for somebody out there as well in Tampa. So, yeah,
Amazing.
I'm excited about that. Found a lot of really, really distressed properties that have been owned for like 20 years. So, I'm excited for everybody that's going to get that list. We'll tell you guys more about that. Um,
Well,
but
first in the chat, I want to just quickly see who has ever done driving for dollars. If you've done driving for dollars before, if you tried driving for dollars, just put a D in the chat. Okay, put a D in the chat and let's see who here has experienced driving for dollars. They'll start coming up now. We had a lot of folks who have tried it. Okay, amazing. So we've had a lot of people that have given driving for dollars a try. Now, if you guys were not aware that Batch Leads comes with an incredible tool embedded within it, so it's not like an extra add-on, you're not paying extra money for it, it's a part of Batch Leads. And it is this virtual driving for dollars platform. They used to actually charge for this. You had Batch Driven was a whole separate product that they've now folded into Batch Leads, and they're giving it away as a part of the Batch Leads subscription. So again, guys, we want to make sure that we have action takers watching this, right? Because what's the point of sitting here looking at Landree and I for an hour just to hear, some of the things we're saying? Like that's not going to help you, right? You want to follow along and you want to do the things that we're doing. And so I want to give everybody an opportunity right now, if you haven't already, to go to batchleads.io/off-market and become a member of Batch Leads. Now, is there a special discount or a special promotion that we're giving anybody who's a part of this that tries to sign up today?
Or when you guys are signing up through that link, you'll get 1,000 free seller, buyer, agent leads to pull into your database. Do you want to tell them what we're also giving away for anybody that signs up only today?
Yes. So if you sign up today, and that's today, okay, you got to sign up today. We're going to give you a custom built driving for dollars list. Custom built. So that means that Landree will have gone out and looked at all of the streets up and down, and she has created and will skip trace that list for you as well. So you can get right into it. You can start calling. Like the moment you get the list, it'll have addresses, it'll have phone numbers, it'll have names on it. And you literally can just skip the whole driving for like the whole virtual map process and just get right on the phones. And that's going to just show you how powerful it is. Because we figured, look, some people are going to be a little lazy, right? They're going to say, oh man, I got to walk up these streets and I got to write all these addresses down. But if you knew that by doing that, you were going to have really meaningful conversations, you were going to get really hot leads and potentially get your first deal done, you would absolutely do it. So what we did is we took that hard work out of the way for you for the first time, so you can start making the calls right out the gate, so you could prove to yourself how lucrative and how important this list is, so that the next time you would do it yourself. So again, if you have not yet ever had batch leads, go to batchleads.io/off-market. Come join the batch family and start driving for dollars today. And you're going to get your free custom built driving for dollars list. And I'm telling you, these driving for dollars lists are the most lucrative lists, especially knowing that Landree is spending the majority of her time working with batch clients who do this. So she knows exactly what to look for. What are some of those things that you're looking for, Landree, if we can give folks a quick refresher?
Yeah, let's jump into it. By the way, to make really, really clear for you guys, because obviously I got to do other things as well other than build you guys driving for dollars lists, which of course I love to do. I have finished a Tampa list that we're going to be giving out. Just to make really clear, there's going to be 3 markets. All of you guys that are here with us live, sometimes it gets up to thousands of people that eventually see this. So not everybody can have a custom list. So what should we do? Should we do a vote in here for the other 2 markets that we're going to build custom lists for?
I think so. Let's find out where the majority of the viewers are coming from today. So if you would, in the chat, tell me where you're from. Tell us where you're from. We're going to look at what 2 markets are the most prevalent, and that's where we're going to give those 2 custom lists out in. Okay, so just tell us real quick in the chat, guys, what city, state you're from, so that we can decide which market we're going to build the list for. So I'm seeing some LAs, Virginia, DFW, Boston, DFW again, Alabama. You ever been to Alabama before?
No, even though I'm actually fairly close now. I should give it a visit.
It's really neat. Birmingham was a really, really cool place. I enjoyed going to Birmingham, Alabama. It was so I'm seeing a lot of Phoenix. I'm seeing a lot of DFW. A lot of Phoenix.
I see a few. That's Las Vegas, Los Angeles. There is a good amount of Arizona. Oh, it's because somebody's multiple votes.
They're going crazy. Phoenix. Okay,
by the way, guys, with these 3 lists, everybody's going to get them. And it's just going to be up to those of you that take the action on calling these leads. There's 100 of them on each list. So potential, 300 leads, depending on what markets you guys are in. But I mean, even though everybody's going to be sent those lists that signs up only today, what would you say, Jamil, for anybody that's like, it's the same list that everybody's going to get if they sign up? Once again, what would you say for anybody that's concerned about that maybe as well?
I look, here's the deal, right? I mean, we all work off the same lists. Everybody works off the same list, but it's not often that people actually do the work. So here's what you have to remember. Okay. Say 10 people get the same list. Okay. Of the 10 people who get that list, 3 of them are going to actually call on it. Now, of the 3 who call, 1 of you are going to do it for a tremendous amount of time and do it consistently. So don't stress out, right? Another thing is you might do it at different times, right? So somebody might be calling in the morning, somebody might be calling in the afternoon, somebody might be calling in the evening, and that's going to absolutely change who you talk to, because people pick up the phone at different times of the day. So again, it's a scarcity thought. It's a limiting thought. Oh my God, someone else is going to have this list. So what? Somebody already has all the lists, right? His name is Jared Vidalis. He has the list of every state and every city. He's got every person's phone number in America, and even he doesn't use them. So guys, don't stress out about that stuff. Okay. It's not important if other people have the list. Just what's important is taking the action and getting it done. So I feel like Phoenix is definitely one of those lists that have to happen. Okay.
Let's
right?
do Phoenix. Yeah.
So,
yeah.
And then I think that we'll pick the last one at the end of today's stream, but it looks
good idea. Yeah.
Potentially it's maybe the DFW or Virginia. So we'll go back and forth. If we have more in Virginia, vote, and if we have more in DFW, vote. But we're gonna select the last city towards the end of the stream. In addition to that, we're going to let you guys know which of you lucky butts got a free year subscription to Batch Leads. That's a $1,200 value. So you just saved yourself $1,200 by sending Landree ugly photos of houses. How easy was that? So we did select that winner, and we'll let you guys know that at the end of the stream. But I want to get to work. I want to start calling people and really getting down the phone and see what we can pull up today.
Okay.
This is so exciting.
I know. I'm excited. Once again, guys, you guys will get those 3 different lists, 3 different markets if you sign up only today. So use that link /off market to go to Batch Leads. Oh, and if you guys already have a Batch Leads account, you don't need to start another trial. You'll just send me an email. I'll get this in here. Actually, let me post a comment. Send me an email if you're an already existing customer and you also want to benefit from those free lists that have been custom built or are in the making of getting built for you guys in those 3 different markets, Tampa being one of them, and send an email here. Okay, there we go. Community at Batch Service. Perfect. Okay.
Beautiful.
Here. So let's talk a little bit about, I'm going to show you guys once again, if you guys are here on really any YouTube live stream, everything has to be blurred, which is perfectly understandable, protecting everybody's information. And that's going to be the same thing for today. But I want to remind you guys how to do this within Batch Leads. It's in the very bottom plan that everybody can utilize this. You can do this on the mobile app too. So if you're like, I don't want to sit at my computer, or maybe you don't have a laptop that you want to sit down at or have to sit down at and go to different markets or do this virtually, you can go out on a walk, get some fresh air, take a drive, and do it on your phone. So
that's so cool.
Yeah, I love the flexibility of being able to do this and not having to pay a bunch of extra money to get it either. So when you guys are in Batch Leads, when you try this out, it's going to be right when you're in your account in driving routes. And you're basically just going to zoom into the map to find a spot just with your mouse. Super easy. And then you'll drag your little Google guy. Let's see if it'll let me move on here. There we go. When you zoom into the road, you'll be able to get super close. You'll grab your little Google icon in the bottom right-hand corner, just drag it with your mouse, hold down kind of the button you have there onto a blue line in front of a property that you'd like to start checking out. So Jamil, when you're going to pick an area to start driving, what would you be looking for? And why is that important as well?
Well, that's a great question. So when I'm going to start looking at an area, well, first and foremost, I want to see, does this area have any examples of redevelopment going on, right? So is there investor activity going on? So I typically want to look at, all right, we've got some older roofs here. Oh, a new roof that was a remodel. Maybe somebody did a renovation over here. So when I'm looking at the satellite view, I'm looking for older, and then new stuff. So like I'm looking for a new roof that's peppered into older roofs, right? When I'm looking at it from street view, I want to see actual examples or actual evidence that a renovation has occurred on this street. So yes. I want to look for streets where I can see, oh wow, this looks like a remodel. This looks like a remodel, and then all the other houses in between look to be original. To me, that's a prime example of where there's redevelopment activity going on. Investor activity is strong. There's going to be a high likelihood that I'm going to be able to find a buyer here. So I would love to get as many of those houses on that street as possible. And so that's one of the things. Another thing that I'm looking for is obvious signs of distress in the yards, right? So if I can see a junkyard, or if I can see like a hoarding situation, or if I can see a green pool in states like Arizona, my goodness, a green pool is an obvious sign of neglect. It's an obvious sign that something is going on there. The people aren't taking care of the property. They're not taking care of the pool. They're not cleaning it. They're not, they're just not taking care. And so these signs of distress tell me that if there's physical signs of distress in the house, there could very potentially be financial distress going on. And if there's a problem that I can help solve, then I want to be able to have a conversation with those people to see what the problem is and how I might be able to be a solution to them. So again, looking for any signs of physical distress, any signs of hoarding, any signs of disrepair, that's going to be a clear indication that that is a potential house that I want to call. Now, vegetation, also really important to look at. So if I see overgrown vegetation, right? Like all the yards look to be nicely manicured, and then all of a sudden I got a jungle. Well, that jungle is probably a ripe house for me to call, right? Because this person is, again, falling behind on housework. They're falling behind on landscaping. They're maybe don't have enough money to call a landscaper to come over and do the work for them. So if that physical distress is visible, there's a chance there's a financial distress situation going on in the background. And that means that there's a potential problem that I can solve. So then I want to have a conversation with those people. So those are the signs that right off the top point out to me. Landree, did I miss any that you've seen?
No, I mean, you hit them all that I know of, and I'll show you guys too if you are ever questioning, like, what does that look like, kind of thing. And it doesn't have to be a property that's completely destroyed, and there's going to be variations, or even things that we looked at on the first day of the Driving for Dollars challenge, of something just like you were talking about, Jamil, of something just being outdated and the rest of the neighborhood is starting to get redeveloped. So it doesn't have to be like the house just needs to be crushed to the ground. So, I think looking for those things, and you guys can kind of see in this example, and I love that as well, as if I saw something down the street, like, wow, that lawn looks really nice and taken care of, that roof looks really fresh, or, like a different color than the rest of the homes on this street, that would be a really good indicator to check that out. So when you guys get into the road, it looks like this. You just click on the house number. Make sure you track your route. I always track my routes. I'll show you guys that today too, just as a sneak peek of that list that I've been building in Tampa, partly for Jamil to call today, and then for you guys that sign up today for batch leads, that you guys will get that fully skip trace as well of 100 property owners. And I'll show you what that looks like in the neighborhoods that I actually tracked. And that was so helpful for me, because it's taken me, over a course of time, because I'm doing other stuff, of course, throughout the day. But you can see how beneficial it is to not have to remember where you've been already, because the system did it for you. I was like, I don't know what I would have done. I would have just had to hop over to a totally different area, so I'm not driving the same streets, over and over. So
that would be like literal brain damage. I'd be like, oh no, I'm doing that. I think I recognize this house.
Yes.
Did I already do this whole street? I actually love Rusty King's question. So Rusty King said, aren't a lot of these properties that show distress just renters that don't care? And if so, do you still try to contact the owner? Phenomenal question, Rusty. So possible, right? It's possible that it's a renter who doesn't care. Here's the thing though. In my experience, at least, when I've rented properties, typically it includes some form of landscaping, right? And so my landlord will say, okay, hey, your rent's going to be $1,500 a month. That's going to include twice a month landscaping. And so usually tenants or rental situations, if there's landscaping that needs to be maintained, the landlord will usually cover that. Now, if the situation is where the landlord's not covering it and it's the tenant's responsibility, then even better, because now I can call the landlord, or I can, because we're not skip tracing the phone number of the renter. No, what Batch Leads does is it can see, oh, this home is owned by this LLC and they have a separate mailing address. And so that's how Batch knows that this is a rental property, that they have to find the owner's information based off of another data record. And so that's part of why it's really important to work with a company like Batch Leads, because you don't want to be talking to renters. You want to be talking to the homeowner. So Batch leads will give you the homeowner's information, and I would call and say, look, I'm looking at some satellite images right now. I'm trying to find a house that could be a potential remodel, and I came across your property. Now, again, I'm not sure if you have a tenant there that you're paying for landscaping, or if it's the tenant's responsibility. But my gosh, this yard has been completely overrun, and I don't know if you've got an HOA, but the city is going to definitely come in and fine you at some point. Can I ask, like, how's this whole landlord thing been going for you, by the way? Is this a lucrative thing for you? Are you enjoying this process? Or do you think now might be the right time to sell your house, considering we have such low inventory and prices seem to have peaked right now? Who knows what happens to prices once interest rates go down a little bit? Maybe the whole market floods with inventory and we tank. I don't know. I think right now is a great time to sell. And so that would be the way that I would segue that conversation, right? I'd want to say, look, this tenant doesn't care. Look what they've done to your house, right? And by the way, if this tenant's doing this to your landscaping, what are they doing to your plumbing, right? What are they doing to the rest of your house, right? So you got to think in terms of, because most landlords only own a couple of properties, and for the most part, as soon as something goes wrong, it like sucks almost all of their income away.
Yeah.
Right. So the reason why we even have a list called like a tired landlord list is because renting houses sucks. Being a landlord is really, really, really hard. And lastly, especially in places like Florida right now with the insurance, my goodness, insurance rates have tripled or quadrupled in Florida right now. So many landlords were only making $200 to $300 a month in cash flow on their properties, and their insurance has spiked like $300, $400, $500 a month because of all the extreme weather.
Yeah.
And so what used to be a cash flowing property is now losing money every month. So imagine that you're a landlord, you've got this house, it's supposed to be giving you cash flow every month. Now it's costing you money every month. That's a great opportunity for us to call and see if this landlord would potentially want to sell today, right? So again, these are the reasons why these types of properties and these types of situations are really, really lucrative. Great question, Rusty King. I hope that answered that for you.
Gosh, that was good. And what would you say? You know what that makes me think of as well, and why I think personally why driving for dollars is so awesome is because I think the point of building these lists as well is you're seeing the physical signs, but you're not supposed to overthink these properties.
Right.
You saw that they were distressed. You get home and just give them a call. You know, you don't know what type of situation. You just know what you saw. And that's what I think is so powerful about these lists, you know, on top of everything else, is every other list, we're putting filters on, we're really thinking about it. No, I don't want to pull that list unless they've owned it for this amount of time or they have this percentage of equity. But this, you're like, I saw that the property is messed up and I'm just going to call. So I think that it kind of gets that out of the way with this type of lead generation.
Agree. Yeah. Awesome. What's next, Landree?
So just to kind of show you guys, if you're like, well, I don't know what to look for, just kind of going through a couple examples once again, just so we can, you know, we don't have to be hopping around a bunch of streets. If you guys want to go back and see us actually go through the drive and starting to collect those properties in Tampa, or the route that I eventually drove after, so I could, you know, look at the property addresses, you guys can go back to the last live stream. But boarded, broken windows, you know, something you see where something is completely overgrown. Of course, it could be extreme. It could be something a little bit less than this goodness. As well.
Where's the house in this last picture over here?
I know. Like, I was like, I got to get that one.
Is that green? Is it a greenhouse too? It's like, it's completely camouflage.
Yeah, seriously. I don't think it is, but it looks like it just because of the light hitting all the trees and
holy moly.
Just changing the color of the property completely at this point. This was something that honestly, this wasn't even that extreme in terms of, I've seen that plenty of times, you know, just in the front yard, you see sometimes properties where it's completely overtaken in the front of the property, or a hoarding situation, which this definitely could be or is. But this is something that I'm sure everybody here has at least seen once when you're out and about, you know, or piled up broken down cars. Yeah. Jungle living.
I mean, you know, it's like, and just think about it from this perspective too, right? The person who's living in there, okay, if it is the homeowner, and if we can solve a problem, we put some money in their pocket, and then they can hit reset on their standard of living, right? Guys, I've been in situations, and I mean this, like sometimes it just gets out of control for people. Like they don't mean for their house to end up looking like this. This is not how it started,
Yeah.
right? It started clean, fresh, and then, one life mishap happens, and then all of a sudden, like a section gets really overrun, and then they're just trying to clean up that situation, and then maybe they stand back up in life and things get a little bit better. But when your negative things are happening and you feel negative, you start attracting more negativity, and then you just end up compounding and compounding and compounding, and eventually it ends up looking that way.
Yeah.
One of the things that I can say about physical environment, right, is when you upgrade your physical environment, when you upgrade the place you live in or work in, energetically, you just feel better. You start doing better, and life starts getting better for you because you feel better. So I want you guys to always remember this, right? That yes, we do make some money when we do these deals. Yes, this person is no longer going to live in this house. Yes, an investor is going to make some money when they flip the property. All of those things are true. However, we're going to give these people 100% of as is value for their house. And that's going to liquidate them in such a dramatic way that now they can start making decisions that are going to be helpful for them. Like maybe I do need to spend a little bit more money on food so that I'm not eating fast food every day. Maybe I should look into this HelloFresh thing and start cooking my own meals. Or maybe I should go get that gym membership finally, because I've been, lazying around my house and I've packed on 60 pounds, and I really do wish I could feel a little bit healthier. See, now you've got that extra money. Now you've got the time to start doing better things in life. So I want you guys to think about this holistically, that when we're calling people, we're really looking to solve a problem, but we pray that this solved problem then translates into a better life for them. So keep that in mind, because when you move in that energy, you start attracting good situations.
Yeah, 100%. I just actually had an interview with somebody in our community, kind of just asking him how he got started in real estate. And he said that, his favorite thing about it is how grateful the seller or the agent that he's worked with, or whomever, how grateful and just happy they were when the deal was done. And, just helping them get out of those situations, I think, is one of the biggest parts of it. So love that.
Very rewarding.
You guys might see sometimes there's a garden growing in the gutter, once again, just those things of getting out of hand and piling up, or a roof. A roof is going to be one of the biggest things, because roofs are freaking expensive to replace and get those repaired. But seeing things like that, or, empty or green pools, there could be something that's completely abandoned. And these types of things, once again, you guys can see and kind of spot from above first. So looking at before, or the neighborhood before you jump down with the little Google guy, is going to save you time, of course, on knowing where to drop down and which areas need the most attention and where you want to spend your time. But then you can find these things as well. So lots of different things to look for, but I don't think it has to be complicated either. You can kind of just tell on the street compared to the other properties that there's just repair there. It doesn't have to be extreme. So
absolutely.
Yeah.
And Sharon, thanks for pointing that out. Yeah, we got 100 and, near, 160, 65 of you guys, and only 45 of you hit like. So hit like so we can get more people onto this live stream right now, because the algorithm will show it to more people. And I really want more people to do this correctly, right? I want more people to do this in a more ethical manner. And the more people that watch how I wholesale, the more good wholesalers there will be out there. And I'm not saying that because I'm being arrogant about it. It's because I actually take the time to think about what's ethical, what's the right thing to do. Anyhow, I love it. I'm ready. I want to just start talking to people.
Okay, cool. Last thing I'm going to show you guys is just to give you an idea about what this has been like to start building this list in Tampa, and how easy it is to just, you can see the start and stop of many routes that I jumped back into.
Wow.
But this is just one area. I hopped around a couple different areas in Tampa.
So all that green tracing is all you. That's like, that's everywhere your little Google guy went.
Yeah. And then
guys,
I went
how
over
fun
to
is
different
this?
areas.
How much money and time did you save, like not having to get into your car and drive up and down those streets? Like how long would this have taken you to do this one little area? Can you give us an estimate?
Oh man, I don't know. That I think at least a couple hours, because you're going to be wanting to park if there's something that you want to get out on, or if you need to make a note on something, or I guess depending on how you go about it. At least when I used to go driving for dollars with somebody on Pace's team, we'd actually get out and knock on everybody's door and leave a sticky note. So that would take us all day to do way less.
And how long did it take you to do this virtually?
Well, I mean, I'm doing other stuff, so this did take me a long time, but that's because it's kind of over pieces. But I think you guys could totally do this in like an hour, I would say.
Awesome.
To gather like a list of 100 properties. So anyway, as long as you're picking the right areas, but let me get this off of here. Let's start reaching out to people. I have about 22 people for you to call.
Oh, let's go. Who wants to hear some phone calls? Who wants to hear me call some of these driving for dollars leads? I'm excited for it. If you
I'm excited too. Yeah.
Want to hear some phone calls, drop a fire emoji in the chat and I'm going to get all hyped up. Let's go.
Okay, here we go. Just watch out for the you'll see in the address that the zip code, obviously, don't click on it for the phone number because it might kind of smush together on some of them. But I do have more actually. So if we run through these quickly, then we can always grab more.
Awesome. Okay, here I go. Your text came through. Amazing. So I'm starting at the top of this list, right?
Yes.
Okay. Let's go. Calling the Guzmans.
You've reached the Guzman residence. Please leave your message after the beep. We will return your call as soon as possible. Thank you. Esta es la casa de Gerardo y María Guzmán. Por favor, deje su mensaje. Le devolveremos la llamada lo antes posible. Muchas gracias.
Hi, Guzman family. My name is Jamil, and I'm actually calling about the property. The reason for my call is, I was looking around at the neighborhood and I noticed that this house had some, overgrown vegetation and it kind of looked like nobody had been taking care of it. And I wanted to reach out to see if you guys might be interested in selling that house to me. I'm really looking for a project to purchase. I would love to talk to you guys if you had some time. So please give me a call back. My phone number. I'll be available anytime today and I'd love to talk to you guys. Thanks so much. So I did leave a message, but I would also call them back again because leaving a message, they might hear it. They'll be like, oh, he sounds polite, but maybe they won't call me back. So I'm going to put that in a follow-up because, hey, I do now know that it's the right family. I just didn't get a hold of them today. So I'm going to try that one again in a couple of days. Let's keep it going.
Betty Yotto. Can't take your call now. At the tone, please record your message. When you have finished recording, simply hang up or press pound for further options.
Hello, Yotto family. My name is Jamil, and I'm calling. Actually looking around the neighborhood and I saw that this house had not really been taken care of in the last little while. And I was wondering if maybe you have a tenant living in there or someone who's supposed to be doing some upkeep. Anyhow, the reason that I really am reaching out is I would be really interested in purchasing this house from you guys and, giving you guys top dollar for the property, depending on its condition, obviously. So if you have a chance to give me a call back, I'd really like to talk to you. I'll be around all day. So if you've got some time, give me a call back. Otherwise, I'll just try you guys again sometime in the future. Take care. Bye-bye. All right, on we go. These numbers are good though. It's been two hits in a row.
Yeah, right person, right first time. Sandra. And she does live there, it says.
Awesome.
sorry. You have reached a number that... We're sorry.
We jinxed ourselves.
I know. It was too easy.
We're sorry. Welcome to Verizon Wireless. Your call can now be...
Their last one's a cell phone, so might be the lucky one.
Let's go. Let's see.
Your call has been forwarded to an automatic voice message system.
That's her.
At the tone, please record your message. When you have finished recording, you may hang up or press 1 for more options.
Hey, Sandra. My name. The reason I'm calling is about the property that you've got at Tampa, Florida. I was actually looking at the neighborhood and I saw that this specific house had some signs that whoever might be living there is having some trouble upkeeping the property. And so I just wanted to reach out to you and see, A, first, if everything's good, B, if you might be interested in selling that house. I'm really looking for a project right now to keep me and my crews busy. And I'd love to talk to you if that's a possibility. So my name again is Jamil Damji. My phone number, you can call me anytime today and I would love to chat. Otherwise, I will probably just give you a call back in a little while and see what's going on. Take care. Bye-bye. All right. Let's keep it going.
Please leave your message for...
Good number again.
Sorry, mailbox is full.
I'm going to try calling her again. Her mailbox is full, so. And it's been some pretty good hits on the number so far.
See, this is what happens when you guys drive for dollars.
No doubt, right?
Yeah.
Please leave your message for...
Okay. Try her again another day.
Okay. On to this Brian. Also says he lives there.
Okay.
Hi, Brian.
Hey, Brian. Is this Brian McRoggan?
It is.
Awesome. My name is Jamil Damji, and I'm calling about the house that you've got at Street. Are you still the owner of that?
Yeah.
I had reason I'm calling is I had actually looked around in the neighborhood and it appeared that whoever was living there may not be taking good care of it. And so I just wanted to reach out and see if, potentially you had any plans to, do something with that house, or if it was a rental, or, if you guys needed any help with it. I'm personally just looking to purchase a project. So I thought, hey, reach out to this guy just because, obviously whoever's there has been having some trouble.
Yeah, well, I have a crew of guys who work for me, and we do construction. And as a matter of fact, they're there today, and they were there yesterday. But we do projects there all year round. We do
Okay.
a lot of different things.
Okay, so you're already working on the house then, it sounds like.
I've owned that house for about 20 years.
Okay.
So it's just it's just a business for me.
Understood.
It generates about 150,000 a year.
Nice. Well, it sounds to me like you've got things, taken care of on that house. But since this is your business, there may be a house that you have in your inventory that has maybe given you some trouble that you would consider letting go. If that's the case, I'd love to talk about that one.
Well,
the worst of the worst, like the one where you're like, man, if this house just wasn't in my inventory, I would not lose sleep.
I have one for sale right now. It's called 997.
All right, hold on a second.
It's a 3-bedroom, 1 bath. Like a third. It's like a quarter. I think it's a quarter. It's like a quarter acre or a little less than a quarter acre. It's called 9977 Markham, Markham.
Okay. I'm gonna take a look at that one right now, and I'll. Do you mind if I give you a call back and like?
I have it listed for 60.
Okay.
We bought it a couple months ago. It needs we ripped the entire thing apart, and we're remodeling it, but we're not. It's got electric. The electric works. There were people living there when I bought it, but the house was not livable. Like when you walk in there, it's not livable. There were people living in it, but it's not livable. So we kicked those people out, but we ripped out there was carpet, the walls, the electric. We redid the electric. We redid parts of the walls. We just took everything out of it. And we're redoing it. But so if it's fixed up, it's worth about 100. I have it listed for 60. That's one thing. I usually I don't sell houses, but that's one where the rental income on that is probably it's probably about $1,500 a month for a house like that. That's basically what I would get if I rented the house.
Got it.
We just did like a fence. Like yesterday, we did a fence around the perimeter, and then we have a chain link fence that we built around the perimeter.
So why don't I do this? I'm gonna seriously look at this one right now, and I'll call you back and give you my hey, this is how much I'll pay cash. I'll close it in 10 days. And if it makes sense for you, let's do a deal.
Yeah, I have other ones too, but
you want to text me over a list of the others, and I'll just go through them. And I'm a really fair person. I'm not like a.
I don't like. Hold on one second.
Sure.
Hold on one second.
Sure.
Hold on.
No problem.
It's good.
Hello.
Yeah, I was sorry about that. So
No problem.
Yeah, send me an email and I'll send you. I have a spreadsheet that has some of my properties on it.
Okay, perfect. Hold on a second. Let me just write your email down. One sec. I'm ready when you are. Okay.
And then it's encinc.com. So it's Brian Urian at encinc.com.
Okay, I got Brian at encinc.com.
Yeah, just put like properties available request or something like that. Like send me a list of the properties you have available. Yeah, and I'll send you a spreadsheet. I have a spreadsheet. It's like a Google Docs spreadsheet.
Amazing. I'll get this out to you within the next 5 minutes, and I'll look forward to your response.
What do you normally do? Like, what, are you trying to wholesale something so you can flip it? Is that what you're doing?
I've done a lot of wholesale. I've done fix and flip. I actually have a television show where I fix and flip houses. So I do a ton of stuff with respect to different exit strategies, but always looking for a value add situation.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Most of my properties are rentals. They stay rented and they're just rentals. So I mean,
how have you felt about the insurance situation there in Florida lately? Because I've got some buddies that have rentals out there, and they're like, dude, the insurance has gone like 4 times in the last year. Are you experiencing the same thing?
Well, to be honest with you, I don't insure properties. None of my properties have insurance.
Oh, well, that saves money. I get.
Yeah, I don't do property insurance. I think it's kind of a scam, really. I mean, if something breaks or a tree goes through the roof, I mean, it takes about a day to fix that. So I mean, that's
right.
I mean, the worst case scenario is the house burns down. I haven't had that happen yet, but I've had to fix fire damaged houses that I bought. I mean, that's not a big deal. It takes a couple days, but we just paint the walls, or replace the drywall. That's kind of what we do. But I don't have insurance on any property. I mean, I guess if you're doing like mortgages and stuff, you do.
Yeah.
But I don't have any mortgages.
Man, I want to be like Brian when I grow up. Honestly, man, you got it figured out here. I feel like I break my back every week to make a buck. But
yeah, I know they do jack up the price on insurance. I know they in May they jacked up the price for insurance.
Yeah.
I know that.
Yeah.
It went like it was like 20 to 50% higher for property insurance.
It's crazy, right? I mean, it's like, especially for these guys that are making a couple $100 a month on, on their rentals. It's like it took all the profit out.
Yeah, kind of, yeah. Yeah, that's another reason why I shouldn't really insure property. I mean, property's not worth insuring anyway, because all the stuff that does break, you're never going to get homeowners insurance to pay for that anyway.
That's true. That's true. Yeah, it's like a natural disaster is the only thing that's going to cover it, and then they're always trying to make the natural disasters exclusions.
Yeah, I mean, the few natural disasters that have happened. I mean, I'm out there fixing it. I'm not me personally, but my guys are out there fixing the roof. I mean, that's the worst case scenario. And that I've never called FEMA. I've seen other people that call FEMA and stuff, but I don't even know how to do that. So I just it's quicker just to send somebody out and fix it.
True.
Really, I mean,
True.
than to try to figure out how to call FEMA. I've heard of that, but I've never done it. I've heard people like, oh yeah, you get your roof fixed, but I mean, it cost me about $4,000 to do a roof job.
Right.
That's like, end to end with the permit and everything. So I don't know, like, I mean, I do my own roof. I do like 50 roof jobs. I do about 30 a year, something like that. That's how many roof jobs. That's probably the most common permit that I do is a roof job permit. Yep. For my own properties, I do them, and
right.
When I buy a property, I do a roof job because most of them have never had a roof job, like everybody's like half-asses their roofs around here,
Yeah, it's true. And the water is the biggest damage that you get water in, and now you've got mold and other things. And
the first thing you do is the roof job, before you start anything, you do the roof job, because as soon as you start fixing everything gets wet, and then you're screwed.
Yeah, it's all done. Yeah, you gotta pay for it all over again.
All the new drywall and put new drywall back on. It is a mess. Yeah, the best thing to do is just do the roof job first, then start. It's like top down, So you do the roof job, then you work on like this, the trusses. If they're damaged, then you go for the ceiling, and then the walls and the floors, But that one on Markham, we pulled out the kitchen. We kept the bathroom because the bathroom was okay.
Okay.
But like we pulled out the kitchen. We rewired the electric because there was some stuff going on with the electric. I didn't like to see. I didn't like when you open up the panel. There was like all the breakers were melted, and I've never seen that. So I was like, all right, let's just yank this out, redo the electric because it didn't make any sense to keep it. And also the breaker was like the panel was like Hummer Schlemmer or something.
Oh yeah, those are the ones that always come up on the inspections that say replace this thing. It's done.
Yeah, we just use like Siemens or GE or whatever. We use those panels, and yeah, we did we did that, and it's like that house it's a nice house, for a family. It'll be nice when it's done. It just takes a while.
I love it, Brian.
I mean, I've got others that I'm working on, like that. I've got one that I'm doing permits on and stuff, but that one's like halfway in the process. I'm not going to sell it. I'll just rent it.
Well, I'll email you at that email address and just send me the spreadsheet of anything you'll sell. And, for me,
Okay.
I'm happy to just get, and again, I don't lowball. I'll give you a really fair price, and I close fast. So if it makes sense to you, I'll be the guy that you'll just go to for offloading stuff when you have stuff.
Well, that would be nice. I mean, a lot of times, like, the way I get stuff is I'll buy them like on either auctions and like either tax or foreclosure, and I have a process, and I have a title company that's very good for dealing with that, and I do that stuff a lot. Like I just sold one. I bought it for 14. I sold it for 215.
Nice, dude. Well done.
I put 14.
Jeez.
I put 30 into it. So I put 30,000 into it. I bought it for 14. Like about a month ago, I sold it for 215. I walked away with like 195 or something like that. 190.
Man,
yeah.
You gotta be on. They gotta turn you into one of these real estate guru guys, because like, man, I'm learning from the wrong folks.
Yeah, I mean, I buy stuff on a third. So, like, in other words, if it's worth 100, I don't pay more than 30.
Understood. Well, if you don't pay more than 30 for it, you'll sell it to me for 40 or 45, and I'm happy as a pig in shit, and like with that.
Yeah, like the one on Markham, I bought that 2 months ago. I bought it for 25. It's worth 100, but I bought it for 25, and it needs a little bit of work on it. It needs about probably 10 or 15 grand worth of work on the inside to make it look like a nice house. But yeah, there's really not much wrong with it. Besides, actually, what was nice about that one is it didn't require any permits. So like the electric was on, the water was on, everything was on.
Easy.
It just looks crazy on the inside because the people were living there for like 40 years. They didn't care, what was going on. They didn't care about nothing. So, and I see that a lot,
Yeah, me too. And that's the reason why I even called you today, because like I do this thing where I drive around and I look for just some signs of distress or potential opportunities, and then I come home and research who the owner is, and then I try to find your phone number, and so it's a little bit of a process for me. I got to do a bit more. I'm actually in Arizona right now, but I'm in Tampa all the time. I'm going to be back there next week.
Oh, okay.
So if you got some time, man, if you want to get together and have a beer and some chicken wings and sell me some houses, I mean that sounds like a good Friday night to me.
Oh, that sounds good. Yeah, well, if you're ever in town, just give me a call. What's your name?
Jamil, Jamil, Jamil.
Jamil?
Yep.
Oh, that's your first name?
That's my first name. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Yeah. Well, send me an email, brian@encinc.com, and then I'll respond with my property list.
My man, appreciate your time today, brother.
All right. Thanks.
Talk soon.
All right,
bye.
Bye.
What? Like
that was just
pay dirt. Like it's like, what is, and I got a due date out of that. What I mean? It's like, that was like rapport building 101. Actually 101 to like 501. This is like, and again, he liked to talk, right? So you want to let him talk, you want to let him go, and that done the pivot, right? Because he wasn't interested in the house that I called on. He was like, yeah. And I'm like, okay, let's take that off the table now. You sound like you're a person who does this for a living. What else do you got? And I remember saying, hey, send me to the one that's your biggest heartburn, right?
Yeah.
Let me talk about your biggest heartburn, because I don't care about the stuff that's making you money every month. I want to talk about the stuff that's like keeping you up every night. That to me is how I solve your problems. And if I solve your problems, then I'm entitled to a check. Also, wanted to make note. He asked me, what do you do? Wholesaling? And I never lied. right? That's another piece I want you guys to take into consideration here. Is I said, yeah, I wholesale, I fix and flip, you know, I do a lot of stuff, different things for exit strategies. It's really important that the transparency come through, because if I had lied there and if I had taken a minute to be like, no, I only fix and flip, not only did I just disempower myself, right? Energetically, that person, can you guys not hear me?
No, I can hear you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Energetically, that person just picked up on a lie, right? And I don't care what people tell you that, oh, you know, people only can hear what you say. No, people can feel what you're doing. People can feel your authenticity. They can feel your what you're meaning. They can feel it. They literally feel it on the other side, right? So that's why it's so important that when you're sitting here on the phone, like have the heart of helping, have the heart to want to add value, have the heart to want to pay, you know, top dollar, but still be able to make money. And when you are in that energy, when you're in that vibe, the thing that happens is you find that, you attract it. And look, I sat here and I made calls. I just kept calling and calling, but I didn't get through what, five or six no answers.
Four. I think, yeah, four
no answers. And I'm right on it, right? I'm right on it. And that's not going to just be one lead. This is going to be an entire list of leads, right? And a buyer relationship, right?
Yeah, Sharon and somebody that knows construction and what it costs to fix
and can get a roof done for $4,000 permitted. Like, yeah, I can't get that done. I can't get that done for $4,000 permitted. No chance. I'm like 6,000-8,000 on a roof right now. So, you know, that's a big thing, right? To be able to understand that. To answer Quevedo's question, the flip fund POFs have been paused right now. Unfortunately, somebody went and made a fake proof of funds using my service and caused all kinds of problems for me. So unfortunately, I had to shut it down for a little while. I will reboot it once I figure out a good process on how to vet who is asking for a proof of funds. And so stay tuned for how that process is going to roll out. But, you know, people ruin stuff for people sometimes, right? This is just the world we're in. You know, folks get in, they get jealous, they feel bad. I guess whoever it was pissed off because they were trying to offer on a property, and somebody who was also offering on a property had my proof of funds. And so and then they ended up winning the deal, and then they ended up wholesaling the deal. And the person who tried to get it got pissed off because they were like, this wholesaler didn't even have the money to buy their own house. They were using Jamil's proof of funds. So then they took that and they went and created all kinds of drama for me. And it was totally BS. Right. So,
oh my gosh.
So yeah, I'm sorry. You know, it cost me money to give you guys the proof of funds. I had $1 million sitting in an account doing nothing just so I could issue those for you guys. But, you know, we got to figure it out. We got to figure out another way. What you should do, though, H-Town, find a local hard money lender and just call them and say, hey, I'm looking to make some offers on some investment properties. Can I get a proof of funds from you? And they will give you one. So just go to a local hard money lender for the time being, and I will work on how to reboot Flip Fund here as soon as possible for you guys.
Awesome.
What do you think of that today? Crazy.
Just so you know, yesterday, because I built you a custom list outside of the Tampa one, I was like, oh, okay, I got to put this one together for you to call just so that you guys aren't going to call the same ones that Jamil did. And I questioned on adding that property. Actually, I actually looked at it a couple times, and that probably took me 20 minutes to put that list together. Just, you know, like 22 properties. But I just
look at I got to pay dirt on like call 4.
Landree,
we're almost out of time. We gotta give these draws away. We gotta tell the winner who won.
Okay,
right.
Cool.
All right. So
we'll pick the last one, guys. We'll probably just announce it once again, just to really confirm if you guys, the only way you can get the Tampa list I personally built of 100 driving for dollars leads on that route. That will be skip trace for you, so you can call and get some awesome connections not far from this property, actually. And then Phoenix we're going to do, and I don't know what other market, but anybody that only signs up today, or if you're an existing user, is going to get it. If you guys sign up tomorrow, we see when you sign up, and it's only today. So
yes,
use that link.
One more time, batchleads.io/off market. Go sign up. Guys, you saw what I was able to accomplish today in very little time. What does pay dirt mean, Israel? Pay dirt means that I found the honey hole. I found the money. I found a guy who is going to either be a great buyer or a great potential homes for me to wholesale or to fix and flip. So that's what I mean by pay dirt. There's money on that call. That call was legit cash. And you guys can build the exact same list for yourselves as well by going to batchleads.io/off market. Now, who won a year's of batch leads?
I'm really excited about this. I went through, once again, it was not easy. You guys sent in some amazing entries of super distressed properties. The winner actually is in the batch community. I'll share the link with you guys on that as well, so you can get connected. I believe he's 16 and his name is Peter Hickson, and he won a free year. He's awesome, trying to get his first deal done.
Congratulations, Peter Hickson. You have won a free year of batch leads. You are incredible. Good job sending in that ugly house picture to Landree Morby. And in return, you won the contest. You win a free years of batch leads. That's a $1,200, $1,100. What is it?
$1,100.
$1,100 windfall in your favor. Congratulations. Now get out there and make some money. You saw exactly what we did today to make it happen. You can do this too, Peter. And for the rest of you guys that tuned in and watched this, you saw how easy it was. And look, I'm okay on the phone, but I'm not Pace Morby. Okay. I'm not incredibly good. I'm okay. I'm just okay. I fumble
You know how
my
to
words.
start conversations.
Yeah.
You are a people person.
Right. I get right to it. I get right to it. I sound kind. I sound, like I'm not here to bother you, but I get right to the point, and it worked, and it will work for you too. So guys, remember, go to batchleads.io/off market, get your hands on, because you want one of these lists, and you want one of the lists that Landree built, because you just saw the power of it. And everybody who signs up today is going to get access to one of those 3 lists. Okay. One of them is going to be all three. Sorry. You're going to get access to all 3 lists: Tampa, Phoenix, and let's just call it DFW.
Let's do DFW.
Okay. Tampa, Phoenix, DFW. Guys, how exciting. Landree, it's always fun to hang out with you. You know that?
Same. I always enjoy these calls.
I start it and I'm like, oh, today is going to be fun. But at the end of it, I'm like, man, I love her. She's always just like, you're such a ball of positivity and happiness, and your smile is incredible, and you make everybody feel welcome. And it's a nice opportunity that I get to be able to work with you. So thank you so much, Jamil.
I feel the same about you. So thanks always for having me, and appreciate all of you guys as well.
You guys get out there, work hard. Driving for dollars virtually. It works. You saw it live today. Make it happen.